Hey, Joe from Boulet's Garage. I'm going to replace a wheel bearing hub assembly on a 2005 Toyota Prius. I have struggled with these in the past, and I have found the easiest way to replace them that I know of. Hold on. The first thing we have to do is remove the wheel. That's a no-brainer, right? Alright, so I got the wheel off. Before I go any further, if this isn't for the do-it-yourselfers, you go to AutoZone and get a hub assembly, you're going to get a rude awakening if you're trying to do this in your driveway. Now this is pretty much in the Northeast. What happens with these hub assemblies are, the bearing hub assembly is steel. The knuckle is aluminum. Okay? So it corrodes very badly, and it's very difficult to get this off. You know, you can try moving back and forth with an air hammer once you get the bolts out. I'm telling you, what I'm about to show you is the easiest way to do it. This video is really meant for mechanically inclined people. You are a qualified mechanic, go for it, and hopefully this will save you time, because there's a lot of guys out there have saved me a lot of time, so hopefully this will help you. Alright, so next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to pull the spindle nut off, the brake caliper, I'm going to get the rotor off there, okay? Alright, take the brake caliper off. What I like to do is get a piece of cardboard, put between the brake pads so they don't collapse and fall out, and you got to take the whole thing apart to make it right afterwards. It's always a good idea to hang the brake caliper from a cord of some sort. That way it doesn't hang from the brake hose, which you see a lot of. Let's take the brake rotor off. Next step, I'm going to try and pull the ABS sensor. I did the other side on this, and the bolt that holds the sensor in broke off. I had to basically heat it up and work the rest of it out on the bench vise afterwards. So, next step is sensor out. I'm going to take the ball joint assembly off from the control arm. I'm going to take the lower strut bolts off, along with the outer tie rod end. I'm going to separate the knuckle from this, take it completely off the vehicle. More times than not, I have tried in the past to remove these bolts and work this back and forth. No, doesn't work. You got to get behind this, and we're going to use a press to do that. But anyway, let me get this knuckle off, and then we'll continue on. So I got lucky with this side. The ABS sensor bolt came right out. Go figure. I'm not going to complain. Now keep in mind, any vehicle that has an aluminum knuckle with a steel hub wheel bearing assembly, this procedure should work. It saves you a lot of time. It might seem like you're doing more, but you're actually doing less. Is any of you out there that have beat on one of these things over and over again until you couldn't do any more? You know what I'm talking about. So ABS sensor up out of the way. We're gonna leave that right there for now. So next thing, I'm going to remove the tie rod end from the knuckle. Okay, I've removed the bolts that hold the ball joint assembly in, bolts and nuts. Also the tie rod end on this side. Got that out of the knuckle. We pull this remaining top bolt out. And we're going to pull this whole assembly off, just like that. The thing I like about Toyota, what they do with their lower ball joints, they have a whole arm that's connected to it. You just simply remove the two nuts and the one bolt. So I'm going to bring this over to the vise and show you, what we got to do next. All right? Okay, so next thing I'm going to do, I have this in the vise, obviously. I got it tightly in the vise. I'm going to pull this collar out because it doesn't really give you enough room to get a socket in there. So I'm going to pry up underneath that, get that socket out of the way. Then I got to drive this spindle assembly out through the back side with this thing I made, which needs to be re-welded pretty soon. Like today. But I'm going to drive that through there, and I'm going to show you why I have to do that afterwards. All right? Safety glasses, hearing protection. It's a must. Hold on, I lost my hammer. I'm going to have to use the air hammer to get this through the rest of the way. There. Got that out. I'm going to pry this little collar out of here, like we talked about before. And if you do this, just pay attention. There is a hole for the ABS sensor. Don't put that the wrong way in. Okay, so I got the 4 bolts out that hold the hub in, and you think that, you know, okay, yeah, this is just going to pop right out. You'll be able to tap it with a hammer or an impact air hammer or whatever, but it just doesn't work. Don't waste your time. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to bring this over to the press and show you how I remove it. Hold on. So, all my mechanic friends out there, I don't have to explain to you what this is, but it's a hydraulic press to the ones that don't understand what this is. And this is the way that you get this hub assembly out of here. You have to press it. And so basically, I'm going to use this. No, I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use this. And then I'm going to use this, and I'm going to press this hub assembly down through. There's enough shoulder on this aluminum housing to rest on these steel pieces, and I'm experienced at this. This is aluminum. Anybody that's not, I wouldn't push it too far, but you know, you could possibly damage the knuckle, but if you have it set up right, you won't have to worry about that. Right, here I go.
Safety glasses.
A little tap. Bam. Another one. Apologize for the noise, but just like that. Bearing removed. So you just want to install it reverse of how you took it apart. Here's a brand new wheel bearing hub assembly here, and I'm going to install it in this knuckle, and I'm going to clean this up with a rat tail file on the inside here before I install it. The backing plate is not in the best of shape, but we're going to reuse it. This guy is on a limited budget, and he just wants to try and squeak another year out of this car if he can. So we do what we can here. All right, so we get the wheel bearing in the knuckle assembly, and I'm going to put this collar back on. Remember, folks, that you have to line this hole up with the ABS hole right there. Because if you don't, then your ABS is going to give you that little light that comes on. So I'm going to press that back in, install the knuckle on the car. Anyway, the main point of this video is to basically show you how this is done. Essentially an instructional video. However, this video is out there to help mechanics, fellow mechanics. If you're about to approach one of these, especially in the salt belt, this way worked best for me with the press. Anyway, if you like this video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time around. Thanks for watching. Okay, so I want to add one more thing to this video, and it's pretty important, and most of you mechanics out there should know this, but you need to torque this spindle nut on any car you do a wheel bearing hub assembly on. If you over tighten this nut, it's going to put too much pressure on the wheel bearing, and guess what? It's going to ruin the wheel bearing. So on this 2005 Toyota Prius, that nut needs to be torqued to 159 foot-pounds. What I like to do is I'll take a screwdriver like this, I'll put it through the window on the caliper right into the brake rotor. This is set to 159 foot-pounds, this torque wrench, and we're going to tighten this to the specified tightness. And I got this backed way off. I tightened it up. I brought it up with the impact, but I did not tighten it. So, right there, 159 foot-pounds. Until next time, like and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the video. Remember, always to use the proper safety equipment, eye protection, and ear protection when performing anything like this. Have a good one.